Hello, hello, and welcome to Saturday Soundbites. I'm your host, Veronica Sofer, and I'm thrilled to be here with you on Saturday Soundbites. Every week, we get together and we talk about visibility strategy. We talk about branding, networking, marketing, public relations, and all the things that help you grow your business in the visibility space. And sometimes that means operations too. So today, I have a fantastic guest, and we're going to bring her on in just a second. But before we do, let's take care of some housekeeping. If you are listening on the podcast, make sure you hit subscribe. We don't want you to miss any episodes of Saturday Soundbites. And if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, drop us some comments, and my guest and I will be sure to circle back with you. So, with that, I'm going to go ahead and launch this episode. I am bringing on the amazing Krystal Booker to the show. Welcome, Krystal.
Hi, I am so excited to be here with Saturday Soundbites. You are amazing. Love the show, and I can't wait for us to dive in and chat further about all things relating to business and operations and the fun
I
stuff.
love it. I love it. I love your energy. And you said operations, and all of a sudden everyone's interest kind of peaked. But before we get into the juicy part about that, let's learn a little bit more about you so that we can just head right over to the nitty gritty of the conversation.
Yeah, so my name is Krystal. I'm the CEO and founder of KrystalClear Virtual, which is an operations agency. I am a mompreneur. So maybe like some of your guests and audience members, I dove into this online business space with zero experience and zero things saying, yeah, you should go do the thing. I just did it because I became a mom and I wanted to be able to support business owners in this online business space and have some freedom and flexibility for my family. So I dove right in as a VA, became an head of operations kind of leader. That's where I unpacked my love of all things in business, which has led me here today to being the CEO and founder of an incredible operations agency and being able to help clients truly delegate to elevate in their business.
That's so fantastic. And there are certain people who are wired this way. So
Yeah.
I am not one of them, but I do love connecting with people that are, because we need to get more tips and strategies from people like you to grow our businesses. So let's dive right in. Let's talk about some of the challenges that business owners have. And I know we're going to talk about the one of the terms that some of us struggle with, delegation. Some of us like control and have a hard time with that. But let's start with some of the challenges that mompreneurs, entrepreneurs, people in the online space face today as they're growing their businesses.
Yeah. So when business owners and CEOs hear operations and they're not naturally wired to just know what it's going to take to have a streamlined operations, that title in itself can be overwhelming. And what I love to suggest to all CEOs and business owners are really taking a look at a whole of your business and evaluating, do you have systems and processes in place that remove you from some of the day to day, that remove some of your team members from the day to day? This is how we optimize our business. This is how we get more from our business. Having something that we can plug a team member into that they are supported with, that's what in a nutshell, SOPs do. They support you, they support your team, they support your business. So you as a busy CEO can go take a week off on vacation and not worry about is everything getting done as it should. Your team has these incredible systems and processes to fall back on, so you know that it is. So just starting there and letting that be a golden nugget that entrepreneurs sit on. It's not always that business owners and CEOs jump into a business and think, oh, I better get my systems and processes in place. But it is a necessity as you continue to grow and scale your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And SOPs, let's touch on those just a little bit. For those of you that don't know, standard operating procedures can really be your Bible. They can be your roadmap. What are some ways that folks like us and people who have started out in the online space can really start that process without having made an investment? In other words, if you're just starting out, I always tell people it's better to have those in place now before you get too far, because it's going to give you some challenges when you go to scale your business. But if you're not in a place where you've got revenue to invest in an expert like you, how can you start those basic SOPs?
Yeah, so you know what I suggest? And one of my taglines has always been simplify to multiply in your business.
I love
This
it.
applies
I'm
to
going to
creating.
write that down because that's a good one.
Simplify to multiply. And this is in any and all areas of your business. There is not one piece of your business that you can't look at and get and go, how can I simplify to multiply here? And it's the same with standard operating procedures. You can literally be working on something in your business, pull up a Zoom screen and hit record and just start talking out loud what you're doing. What you're
Yes.
creating right now is a video SOP by doing this. And you're not taking any additional time away from your business other than pulling up the Zoom screen and hitting record. So you can create this SOP library that when you are ready to delegate, anyone can step into and see a complete video walkthrough and SOP of what it's going to take to do this particular piece of the business task, whatever it is that you're documenting. You can then have that person transcribe it into a written doc. So we really can simplify our efforts in creating the SOPs.
Hmm.
Nothing has to be big and complicated. It can be a recorded screen where you talk through every bit of what you're doing, and voila, you have just created an SOP that's going to be extremely effective for you and your team.
Yes, that's fantastic. I mean, it seems it's so simple. It is so simple, but oftentimes we lose sight of capturing and memorializing our actions for our business. And so it makes it really challenging as you're looking to bring on team members and onboard and transition team members. So I love that tip. Krystal, when you're thinking about delegating, and this is really a question more for the CEO types and the certain type A personalities, how do we delegate and do it willingly? Because sometimes we do it reluctantly and it doesn't really benefit the company the way it should. How can folks start getting comfortable with delegating?
Yeah. So, one, having SOPs in place in your business, that is going to be your peace of mind because you're going to know that a team member can come in and review this thing, know exactly how it's been done, and go do it well.
Yeah.
So, that's the foundation of assuring yourself that this is going to be okay, that
Hmm.
everything is going to get done right because you have given them the roadmap to go do it exactly how you do it. Another way that delegation is so successful with a business, and this is where I like to say, that delegation can give you a business that creates leverage and scalability. A lot of the times we say there's so much on my plate, I just need to delegate and get it off. And whereas that can provide flexibility for scalability, delegation can also be a part of your deliverable for clients. So if you are someone that has a strategy piece in your framework of offers, but also implementation and done for you services, which we all know that in this industry, both are needed. If you, or maybe you have just offered strategy and you're thinking, I would love to do the done for you for all of these clients that are asking me, but I have no capacity for it. This is where you look through the lens of delegation and say, what would it look like if I could offer my clients, more clients, some done for you, but
Yep.
I handed that off to a team member that actually did the implementation? What
Hmm.
does that look like for your business? Now, whereas you might have capped yourself at a few clients a month because your capacity only allows for you to do the done for you at that capacity, now the ceiling is removed and you have
Yeah.
prepped yourself to have a business that allows you to go bring in infinite clients because you have a team that is growing as your offers are growing and the more selling that you're doing, right? So approaching things of, one, do I have the foundations in place so that when someone steps in, they can review what it is that I want them to take over and do it well? And then two, do I have a partner out here that I can trust to go and help me do some of the deliverables beyond just my own business tasks, but for my clients? And if I do, this sets you up for more of a, you're looking beyond the investment of delegating something in your business. Now you're looking at it as, I actually have a scalable business. And that becomes very powerful in the mindset that you have and going and selling to your potential clients and what that
Hmm.
looks like for the business overall.
Hmm. Yeah, that's really good advice. And I think once people see the potential for their growth, we talk about scalability as if it's something that's really easy to do. And yes, you need to have a plan, but more importantly, you need to have those processes because without the processes, your plan isn't going to help you grow your business. That scalability just isn't going to show up. What are some ways that people can connect with other like-minded entrepreneurs? And in other words, what kind of resources do you recommend that entrepreneurs tap into to learn about the operations of a business? Because some of us may have gone to journalism school, or we were in the health profession, or we were in the teaching profession, and now we're in the online space, and we didn't go to business school. So how do you connect? How do you connect with other people in this space to learn from them?
Yeah, so there are so many communities out there that are incredible for just getting to know, like, or anyone in this operations industry, right? But I personally loved diving into the two tools, Rocket Fuel being a book that you can read, and also Traction. So, what this unpacks is the EOS business model, entrepreneurial operating system. And although this is kind of a system that you implement in itself, there's so much gold when it comes to operations and how you can structure your business for results to be driven, that you can plug and play regardless of the size of the business that you have. When I really consumed the resources, and then there's resources beyond those books from Mark C. Winters and EOS that you're able to utilize online. But when I unpacked the gold for all things operations from these two books, it really allowed me to see operations in a new light and
Hmm.
figure out, coming into any business, what can be plugged and played to be successful for them. So, for example, implementing a really strong strategy for running a weekly meeting. It talks all about an L10 format in these books, which is really, really just an amazing way to lay out a weekly meeting that's going to drive results for
Hmm.
your clients and your team and all the things relating to the business. So there's so much that you can digest in this book to go implement that really is impactful for the business.
Those are great. Those are great titles. I think if you guys didn't catch them, we're going to include them in the show notes, but we want to make sure that you have all the resources you need. Krystal, what is the one mistake that you see your clients coming to you with that could have been avoided?
Yeah, so I think really when you're evaluating what it is that you want to hire, I think clients um, don't always have an understanding of the kind of person that they need to bring into the business. And so, getting a really clear understanding of what it is that you need to delegate and having the foundations in place so that someone can easily come in and get onboarded, or partnering with someone that allows you to have that support, right? So, things can be really streamlined for a new team member coming in. A lot of the time, CEOs, they need help like yesterday. So when
Yeah.
they're onboarding new team members, it can be very rushed, and there's not a lot of clarity around if this was the correct hire, right? Because everything's so rushed. They weren't really sure that this is actually the team member that's going to be the right fit for the seat. It's just as important to find the person as it is to identify, are they a core value fit? Do they get the role? Do they want the role? Do they have capacity for the role? Do they understand what is really involved and what the business needs right now, beyond just saying, yeah, I want to come in and receive a paycheck? You got to know that this person is truly the right fit. And so there are many different ways to prep the business in ensuring that you really are bringing in someone that's going to support the business long term. But first and foremost, it starts with, is the business owner or the team really sure and understanding what it is that's going to benefit the business the most?
Hmm.
Beyond just saying, I have admin tasks I need to throw off,
Right.
really unpacking what long term solution does this business need? What are the root of the issues that we're having that's causing us to look to hire? And what kind of skill set is needed to solve that issue long term with the next right hire that we're bringing into the business? That overall really sets the team, the CEO, and the new person coming in up for success.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And you said a couple of key words that I want people to tune in on, and that is just really having the foundation and the structure. And so, in my mind, I automatically equate that to contracts and service agreements. What are some tips for people who are looking to onboard team members on how to find the right service agreement or contract or resource to outline the scope of work that's going to be done operationally?
Yeah, so beyond just the services agreement and, invoicing signed up, one, it's going to start with, do we have our SOPs in place? And do we also have things set up securely so that bringing someone else in, we can give them access to what they need securely? Do we have a running checklist of the skill set and the tasks that we need to offload to this person to ensure that when we are having conversations around the role, we know exactly who we want to bring in? Do we have an idea of the capacity needs for this? And one of the things that I want to just mention here is there's so many different opportunities and avenues for finding a great hire. There's not necessarily a right and wrong process for everyone, but there are opportunities for you to lean on a partner and a resource that will allow you to make the right hire, depending on how services are structured. So it really is, there's different avenues for it, but what you can do within your business is getting everyone on the same page, getting a really clear understanding of what the GWC looks like for this role, that get it, want it, have capacity for it. Those foundations and all the things, the NDAs that you want to have in place are great. And then being able to have someone step in and receive your SOPs, get access to things, it just makes everything really streamlined. In our operations agency, we have spent a lot of time unpacking the pain points of business owners, and that the onboarding is a pain point when it comes to hiring. So we've done a lot to streamline this process, and that starts with every single person that comes into our business is getting vetted and trained, and we are making sure in real time that they actually can do what they say that they can do before they're ever matched with a client. So there's some different avenues for making sure that you want to have clarity around who you want in the business, but then also, again, going back to we simplify to multiply, there's avenues for going and finding the right hire that doesn't make you or your team in the weeds for weeks as you're searching for the right candidates too.
No, that's great advice. It's really great advice. So, Krystal, where can people learn more about you? Tell us a little bit about how you support your clients, because for some people, they're listening and going, wow, that's really overwhelming, and I don't even know where to
Yeah.
get started. So, how
Yeah.
can people reach out to you and connect and learn more about what you're doing to support business owners?
Yeah. So because we are hyper aware of CEOs being at a place that they're like, I need to hire someone like yesterday, we've done a lot of simplifying in our operations agency so that minimal things are having to happen from the CEO up front. If they have some clarity around the kind of tasks they want to offload, and they have some clarity around the capacity needs, and they have clarity around their budget for the role, we're pretty much able to get in and do everything else. The only other thing I would suggest a CEO having ready is some kind of systems and processes documented so that when we're stepping in and we're having our kickoff call, we're not only getting access to the tools that our team member is going to be working from, but they're also getting to come in and review the SOPs, which is just going to make the onboarding a bit smoother for them. But everything else we have crafted, again, we are doing the interviewing, the hiring, the vetting of all of our candidates that are already within our team before ever having conversations with clients and being ready to place someone with clients. So what this means, we have done the heavy lifting for clients when it comes to getting an application process started, getting interviews happening, doing the vetting and the training and all of this stuff, just to even be sure that they have a great team member. We've done that already. So by the time we're having a conversation with a CEO or an OBM, someone that's helping the CEO hire, we have done all the things to make sure who we're about to put in front of the business is going to be the best fit. We're considering personalities, all the stuff that check off the get it, want it, and have capacity box for the business owner. Another thing that we have done is it's a pretty common headache that once a new team member is onboarded, now the CEO or business owner is like, yeah, but that's just one more person for me to have to manage and train. We have taken that and we do those things behind the scenes ongoing. So we are
Wow.
training, holding accountable the team member. We are managing them. We are supporting them. So a lot of times team members do need some mentorship and support and some leadership, but the CEOs and business owners are too busy to devote to the business team because they've got so much going on as is. So we table that as well. We make sure that they have everything that they need so the team member is able to show up and drive results for the business owner ongoing. And beyond that, we also ensure that if anything were to ever happen to the particular team member and they're no longer just able to support the business, we also shoulder getting that right replacement into the business. So
Nice.
all of these traditional headaches that come with trying to go hire and train someone and all the fears that CEOs typically have, we've managed to hear those and bring a solution that allows our clients to really just delegate to elevate in their business. I'm on all the places. So KrystalClearVirtual.com is where you're going to see my website. I'm on almost all the social media platforms in that same Krystal Clear Virtual. And I'm happy to first and foremost connect with anyone that just needs some operations clarity and even
Mhm.
determine if hiring right now is the right fit, because sometimes there's solutions like looking at the tool stack that you have and determining if automations can be implemented to offload some of the things that are taking up a lot of your time. If you can streamline and simplify to multiply, why not? And then if your business needs delegation beyond that, we're able to support you there too.
Yeah, that's fantastic, Krystal. I love all of the offerings that you have. I think so many people are going to get just really great advice and guidance from you if they reach out. So, folks, if you have any questions about operations, how to scale your business, how to delegate, how to implement SOPs, Krystal Booker is who you need to reach out to, and her information will definitely be on the show notes. Krystal, it was such a joy to have you on Saturday Soundbites.
It was so amazing being here. Thank you all. Veronica, you are incredible, and I am so excited to connect with your amazing audience.
Ah, thank you so much. All right. Well, we're going to wrap up this episode, guys. Reach out to Krystal. You can have a fantastic business idea. You can have a fantastic business and service in place. But if you don't have those operational functions ready to go, you are going to not do the things you want to do. You won't be meeting those goals. So let's get those operations in order. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up this episode of Saturday Soundbites. Again, if you are listening on the podcast, make sure you hit subscribe. We don't want you to miss any episodes. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, drop us some comments, any questions you might have for Krystal or myself, and we will be sure to circle back with you. And of course, you can always find me at veronicavsofer.com. And I look forward to seeing you next time. So I'm going to wrap up by sending you lots of positive energy and light.